if you knew what was going to happen in this game and you said, Greg, you can have the stat of one player who played in Bills Miami, non-quarterback, so not Allen or Tua. I'll give you one stat line for one player to determine like if you know what happened in the game. I would say Devon Achane. Like, what was his stat line? That's who I would have asked you to have, and then I would tell you who I thought won the game based on his stat line. 8 rushes, 101 yards, and 2 TDs. Bills lose by 30. Like, that's what I would have told you. That was his stat line.
Wow.
Now, I did not see the game. I have taped it. So we're going to talk about this like that happened. So Bills fall to 2 and 2 on the
I was like,
season.
wait, you haven't seen it? I legitimately thought you
I
didn't
got
watch
him.
it.
I got him. I got him. No, they fucking won by 4 touchdowns. Everything's fine. The Trey thing sucks. We'll talk about that. It's in the hunt. We're all happy. Kyle sounds like bats are about to fly out of his chest. His voice is so deep that if there's a female in the room while you're listening to this, hold her down. She will try and lick the whatever device you're listening to in the hunt from.
Well,
Because of
normally
Kyle's
they do
voice.
that.
Wait till it comes.
Normally they
Wait
do
till
that
it
when I'm
comes.
talking. And
So that's Sean Murphy. That's not Kyle. So Sean, before Kyle talks, you talk, and we'll pretend like you're Kyle. Now Kyle's gonna talk. You're gonna hear what his voice sounds like today. So here it comes.
Carl.
No, let Kyle talk so people can hear what he sounds like today.
The crazy thing, I didn't even drink today. Like, not a sip of alcohol.
Wow.
Only water. And the sun was hot. I think that's what did it. The sun was hot enough.
It
I
sounds
wish
like
I
you're
could-
slowed down.
Look at that.
Oh my God.
Can you
Yeah,
see
you
that?
got sunburned. Wow.
That's
Lord.
crazy, right?
Yeah,
The sun
that's
was
October burn.
It was so fucking hot. I thought we were done. I thought we were done with the sun for the year. Not today. It was fucking steaming hot.
So you should have wore a t-shirt that said, I wish you were colder. Got him. Still got it, baby.
What?
Okay, wait. Can I want to talk a little bit about something that happened at the game.
Oh,
Okay.
So
Yeah. We have
as
nothing
you
to talk
guys-
about. They won, so go
Yeah.
ahead. It doesn't fucking matter.
As you guys probably know, they do a legend of the game. Last home game, Taquio Spikes. Remember the whole seat thing?
Yeah.
So this week's Drew Bledsoe.
Mhm.
Now, if you haven't seen it, I don't know if you haven't, what the NFL legend of the Bills legend of the game does is they come on right before the game starts and they go, like, you pumped Bills Mafia, and then they do a quick hey, and then the crowd does it back, and then they go, let's go Buffalo, and then they go, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? The crowd chants that. It's a fun little thing, whatever. Today was Drew Bledsoe. He came back, and people were excited. It's a Bills legend. They're back. He gave the whole. He's like, I'm glad to be back in front of the best fans in the NFL. Everyone's crazy. He's like, I need your help. I need your help, Bills Mafia. And he goes, this is where they go, hey, pretty easy, right? Everyone knows that.
Mhm.
I promise you, this is what comes out of Drew Bledsoe's mouth. He goes, you ready, Bills Mafia? I need your help. Aye. and then he like grasps, he like he laughs and puts his hand over his mouth. Oh. What the fuck was that? And then comes back, and you're thinking he'll nail it this time. And then he just goes, I swear to God, it was so bad. And then like everyone's laughing. No one even like goes back. Everyone just laughs. And then he goes, where would you rather be than right here, right now? But boy, that was the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. He can never come back.
Crazy that he got the Levy quote right, but not the sound.
It was so awkward. I had never seen it. Like, he didn't even say the haze. There was no hay. It was a different sound that I have never heard. It sounded like right before you throw up and you're like, that's what it sounded like.
It would have been funny if instead of the Marv Levy quote, he got like another famous coach quote instead, and he said like playoffs. I'm laughing at my own joke. I'm sorry. I can't help it. Everyone's in a good mood, so no one cares. about me laughing at my own joke. What a fucking win. What do we want to start? We want to start with the boners of the game.
Yeah, we could start. We could start with the little bees.
Little bees,
for me,
medium bees.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was
There's so many of
talking
them.
about me and Greg have medium bees. I don't want to speak for you. Yeah, Diggs long TD.
Yeah, that's
was
a good
mine.
one. You took mine,
I mean,
so that's fine.
Because the spin away, it was a buddy texted me. It was like a Jackie Chan movie where it's like someone comes at him with a bat and he like throws him into another guy who's coming into him. Like it's just it almost seemed like it wasn't really happening. I expected it to be called back because there's a flag on the play and it seemed not real.
What was also great about that play, two things. Yak, pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Also, I love when he has yak. I'm serious. Like he always has separation, but he never has yak. I love when he never
gets the yak. And I'm not shitting on him. Football seems tough, but he's a big catch, make a few moves, then go down. He doesn't take hits. Yeah. He does not take hits. And
smart.
Why would you? If I played in the NFL, I would also not want to get hit.
Yeah.
So I understand I'm not shitting on him there, but this in particular time, he was like, I'm going for it. And it's almost like, that's what happens when you go for it sometimes, man. You can break 2 tackles and run for 50 yards.
Yeah.
Good boner. Easy boner.
What was the second
boner?
thing?
That's a morning boner. That's it's a boner. You know what I mean?
Mine was
no wait, hold on. Kyle said there were 2 things cool about that play. One was the yak.
What was the other one?
No, that was it. The actual yak was one, and the him like breaking the tackles was
so yak was both of them.
Yeah, because he usually doesn't break tackle. He's not a break tackle guy.
I'm gonna start using that Kyle thing. I like 2 things about that play: that he caught it and that he caught the ball.
Yeah, and that the ball didn't hit the ground. Yeah, those are the 2 things. The ball was thrown and he caught it. Those are the
2
3
things happened on that play.
3 things I liked about that play. The 4th thing.
Man, I
want to do mine. Can I do mine?
Go yours. I got to think about mine.
Because I won't take any offensive plays. So you have all the other cool offensive plays that happen. Mine is, and I might need help with this one, Greg Rousseau's first sack, because I think that was the first sack of the game where they got Tua, because I just wanted them to sack Tua. I hate the fact that all week it was like he gets the ball out in 2 seconds. And I thought, yeah, but those defensive lines suck. I want him to get sacked multiple times. And it would just felt so good to see him get sacked, because all week, all of us thinking about is the fact that he's just going to cut us up because he's going to get rid of the ball so quick. And they got him. They got him 4 times in the game. Rousseau had 2, Oliver had 1, Daquan Jones had 1. So friggin' amazing. So I would just say the first one because I wanted it so bad that that's a drippy boner, like
drippy boner.
Yeah. Hey, what do you want?
You might want to go to the doctor, but
many reasons. Discharge.
I think I'm going to go with the second Stefon Diggs touchdown. Since Sean,
that was the long one, wasn't it?
The scramble, or was that he had one? 3. So the first one, the first.
Hey, it's so fucking hard to keep track of all of Stefon Diggs touchdowns. You can't hold us responsible. It was
right before that. The Bills had like 2nd and goal on like the 4, and whatever lineman came in and reported eligible, but the ref never saw it, so they called him back, and all the Bills were like, he fucking did the stomach thing. You didn't see it. You're a piece of shit. I'll fight you. And next play, and you knew Allen wanted to run that. He made the first move, and he was gonna sprint towards it, and but Stefon Diggs, little juke there, got open, and then did the stone cold with the beers. Pretty cool little.
Yeah, that's right.
That's like 2 boners in one. Almost like yours, Sean.
Yeah.
2 things. 2 cool things.
Whenever you're having sex, what I like about this is that I'm getting hard and I have a boner. Those are 2 things I like about this. A lot of great games, Milano, Oliver, Daquan Jones, obviously Diggs. Hardy had some nice plays, getting first downs there. Kincaid had some catches.
Can I say something about Hardy?
Yes, you can.
I'm not complaining about this game. This has just been an overall thing. And obviously something's working. So I'm not, but I think everyone thought he was brought in to be like a deeper threat.
Or like a
And they
Mackenzie
don't,
Gadget guy.
yeah, they don't even send him on deep routes. I think I've seen one deep pass to him. He's mostly just like we're gonna throw this behind the line of scrimmage to this guy and hope he makes a guy miss. He was the reason he even people know his name is his 1 year with the Saints. Drew Brees was throwing the ball deep, or maybe it was Winston. I don't fucking know. But anyways, he was like the deep ball guy there. And I don't know. I just think maybe they could put that into the playbook a little bit. Send them deep. Don't send them behind the line.
I'll call Dorsey. I'll let him know.
I also want Dorsey fired.
I
weren't saying that. I know you weren't saying that. I'm just kidding.
I think I don't know how great the Miami D is, but Dorsey just from this game should get a big leash going forward. Is how amazing the offense played today. That it was like the kind of a playoff run where we were perfect against New England, and like it felt like this was the offense we've been waiting for since he was hired.
Yeah, today was what was it, last week or probably the last year and a half. I was saying that this is like, I was like, this offense that they're using was like good enough to beat bad to mediocre teams. And they weren't doing anything huge or doing anything spectacular. And I just wondered if it was sustainable to beat really good teams. And today was the perfect game plan. Yeah. Perfect execution. Enough shots downfield. It was perfect. Everything was great today.
How much do you think they do that throughout a season? Like, what's the mix on that? Like, do you just play your best football every single week? How hard is it to, okay, we don't want to show this scheme, this thing against Washington or the Raiders. We want to save it for Miami. But then what if you lose to the Commanders and the Raiders? Like, how much do you think there is hidden? Me not knowing, because I've never coached. I know you watched the All-22, Kyle, but
yeah. I mean,
I'm not even sure I understand the question.
Do you bring out your best every single week in terms of like surprise things, coverages that you show, rushes that you show, or do you just save it for Miami week in week 4? Like, can you possibly do that?
I don't. I've often wondered if coaches don't look past teams.
I would guess they do.
Sometimes you have to, right?
It's like human nature. I bet it's less than people think. I bet it's like,
yeah.
Well,
there was, what was it, maybe I'm totally fucking off here, but wasn't, there was a Bills game, I believe, when Daboll was here, that he was like, I was game planning for this game last year. He said something along those lines, and it was like a late game that he was like, I've been game planning for this game since last year. It may have been a game against KC, but and that I remember him saying something like that, being like, all right, so you do look past some teams. If you're game planning next year for this team, or game planning the year before, I was like, you're looking past the other 16 teams.
Well, we talked about, Kyle's All-22. And I mean, do you have any, your new segment? Have you heard anything through the grapevine?
Kyle's grapevine.
Kyle's grapevine.
You're out there in the stadium with the fans, Drew Bledsoe. I don't know if any rumors crossed your path, while you're out there.
Rumor is that Kaiir Elam is going to start at cornerback now.
No, he would still be a backup to Benford, unless Benford's hurt, but
there's
back in the game. So,
I mean, honestly, what are your expectations for Elam when he comes? Are you like, is he even on your radar anymore to care about? Or are you just like, I don't know, he hasn't played this entire season so far, and I don't give a shit. They've been fine without him.
I'm excited about him because he fucking was one of the best cornerbacks in some metrics against the Dolphins last year. Like, people are questioning whether or not he should just be put into start. I mean,
to be completely inactive, like, has he gotten that much? Has he gotten worse? He can't play now? Like, that's crazy.
Well, but I'm also interested because, I wrote this down. I think we all, me as well, maybe most first of all, should give an apology to Bernard, because that was a pick they made last year, and I was like, you're wasting a 3rd round pick. He didn't play all year. Like, what are we doing? And he's looked great. And I'm not saying the same thing's going to happen with Khair, but it'll be like, it'll be good to see if he has anything.
I mean, we're gonna find out.
Yeah.
It's that the Trey White thing, if you want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I wanted to leave the stadium. Like,
Yeah.
it was such a bummer.
Yeah.
That it was. I at that time I was like, I could leave right now. I don't give a fuck about this game anymore. This just sucks.
It made me sick, because like you saw it on his face. You saw like the entire team came out around him. Like you knew it was bad, and yeah.
Yeah, and it just sucks. Like, one, if it's an Achilles, which is being reported, like at that point, like you're thinking long term too, is like ACL then Achilles. Like, not many guys can come back from that totally. And now you're like, your entire offseason changes. He is one of the, he is like a staple in Buffalo, adored as he should be. And it's
He's
just
my
like,
favorite player.
What a shitty fucking thing. And again, if you're just talking football, you're like, has Von Miller, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, and Trey White been on the field at the same time together? Like, It's just such a big hit into, you know what I mean? Like, that it's just like, God, I don't want this going into the playoffs of like, well, Trey White didn't play and that's why we lost. Like, I don't even want that. I just didn't want that shit said. And now it'll be there.
You could tell the players were so bummed, like all the quotes. Greg's just sneezed 8 times in a row. You could tell like all the players were like, he works so hard. He was depressed, and then he came back, and he's like, takes such good care of his body. And you're like, and he's like, in his prime, and it's such a bummer. But you never know. People do come back to that.
I think he'll play again. I'm not saying he won't play, but at some point, what are your expectations now? Like, Achilles takes longer than an ACL, unless you're listening to Dolphins fuck with Aaron Rodgers. Like, at that point, you have to maybe call Aaron Rodgers and be like, is this working? Could I get what you got? Dolphins fucking.
By the way, we should explain. That was a news story where Aaron Rodgers said he sleeps.
I have no fucking idea what
fucking.
You're talking about.
Oh, you don't know what I'm talking
about?
Say
that again.
Oh, that makes it
Say
weirder,
that again.
huh?
What's happening? What
Aaron Rodgers finds the sounds of dolphins having sex to be relaxing, and he like listens to it sometimes.
And that helps his Achilles heels, he's saying?
I don't think so. I think Kyle is combining 2 stories. There's 2 things he likes about the story: dolphins having sex and a dolphin penis going into a dolphin vagina. Those are 2 things he likes about that story.
Yeah.
Nice.
I thought I just read the headline. You know me.
Mm-hmm.
I
heard
thought
it through the grapevine.
I thought he listened to dolphins fucking as part of recovery.
I haven't done enough research on the dolphin fucking story.
I imagine
let me go on Pornhub real quick, and we'll bring up a video.
I imagine dolphins fucking sounds like plunging a toilet.
You think?
It's just like
a lot of
water
wet.
being replaced by air.
Pretty wet.
Yeah. There'd be like a suction action there. I don't know though. I don't know if dolphins. I don't think that they can. Well, let's move on.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Anyways,
so that was a bummer. That was the big bummer of the game, which puts a black cloud over today's proceedings. But let's try and focus on the good. DeMar Hamlin played. That was fun.
Play.
He played special teams. I did not notice him on the field for defense. We'll wait for the all 22 to find out.
Yeah,
whether or not he played a lot on defense. But
which that almost brings me up to another point here. I don't know what you guys thought. I thought the starters played a little longer than I was comfortable with.
Yeah.
Like
I don't know why they were out there. Yeah.
They were up by like 28 with like 8 minutes left. It's like, and then like Teron Johnson goes down a little bit. You're like, get these guys out of here. What are we doing?
Dude, I'll say this. I would agree. But you've seen Tyreek Hill score.
But 28
multiple
points.
touchdowns. You've seen Tyreek score multiple touchdowns within minutes.
I don't even think it was.
I'm saying at some point pull him, but at 8 minutes, I ain't pulling him because I've seen Tyreek Hill score a 75-yard touchdown in 3 seconds, and that's all it takes. And all of a sudden, it's 21, and you're like, whatever, we'll run out the clock. And all it takes is a Josh Allen fumble from the center, and all of a sudden, it's 14.
Well,
and
that's
now
true,
there's
but
there's 7.5 minutes left, and you're like, I was ready to take the guys out.
that's true. But I've also seen, our best, defensive player snap his Achilles in the end of a game when the game was kind of already won. The game wasn't won at that point, but I'm just saying that's the risk reward you take with these things,
Yeah, well, like I said, sure, against the shittier teams, absolutely, but you'd have a different tone if all of a sudden they made that a game, if they rested all the starters and then it was boom, 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 and all of a sudden they're down.
True, but you would have a different tone if Teron Johnson's injury was legit. So welcome to Sean's Right, Kyle's Wrong, my new segment that I've been doing for 6 years.
I knew Teron was fine. It was my professional doctor opinion from the 300s.
Hey, everyone, he's fine. Don't worry about it.
Fine.
Everyone sit down. Stop talking.
That's why his voice is like that. He was yelling, he's fine for a quarter. Knox had an awesome stiff arm. I mean, he's had a quiet season, but that was a, boner runner-up.
It was also, speaking of tight ends, good to see Kincaid. He had a busy first quarter and a half, really nothing after that, but it was good to see Allen finding him.
Yes.
In that little middle zone where I complained last week that I was like, this offense still doesn't have that guy who's going to get 4 to 5 catches. It's Diggs, and then the next guy has 2 catches in every game. It's good to see a guy get 4 to 5 catches other than Diggs.
The offseason talk with Kincaid a lot was like, how much of an impact could he have? And then there's people saying, I cannot see him having less than 50 catches, which is not a ton these days, but still for a rookie tight end, that's a lot. And it's nice that he's not on that pace, but it's not a big deal. Like, be one thing if they were
big
just
deal to us. We have money on it, Greg.
Yeah, I know. But from like bringing him along aspect, he looks really good when he definitely can catch the ball. He doesn't have like a freshman dropsies thing like Jamar Chase had. So it's good that there's no issue to it. He's maybe just going to get even better and better and more in there as they kind of put things together.
I will say this is kind of, I don't want to say a negative Nancy prediction, but people are on X, formerly known as Twitter, and they're going crazy with like, oh, what if Trey White never plays again? What if we have to cut him? He makes all this money. But who I'd be almost secretly nervous for, not really nervous, but interested if they keep past the season is Knox. I mean, he makes like $10 million. He has like 1 catch a game. And like, he's a good blocker and everything. And, this is, 8 months ahead of schedule. But I'm just saying that's an interesting conversation that might happen in the off season going forward.
Hey, you're always replacing
if
people
anything,
on
they'll
roster.
just convert money. They'll do something. I don't know where money comes from these days, but they'll just convert money. And then all of a sudden they're going to have $20 million in cap space, and you're going to be like, I understand it for sure.
Oh, we could afford Knox. They raised the debt ceiling, so we'll be fine.
The Bills got a buyout or what a bailout, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, you have a tweet of the game.
I have an X of the game.
X of the game. That's right. It's X of the game now.
X of the game.
Suck it, Greg.
Life. I am sucking it.
This one, remember I was at the game. They're a little tough to find, but this one I like. This one is from Hockey is Mir Heilig. So this guy is in Germany. He tweeted in German. So it's HAAKEISMIRHEILIG. That's his name. Okay. He tweeted out in German. I'm going to try German here.
Ooh.
Stefan Diggs. Ich Lushi Dean Fubi.
Okay.
Okay. Which translates to Stefan Diggs, I suck your feet.
Oh no.
Oh,
Why would you do
no.
that?
Yeah.
I think he's just
No.
complimenting Diggs. You guys got
But
to
like
relax. This
saying,
guy
I
is
love you so much,
complimenting
I'll suck your
Diggs.
feet. Yeah. Was this tweet today? Was it just
Yeah.
like on a random Tuesday,
What do you
3
think? I
a.m.?
just find tweets from any time?
If you search like Bills on Twitter, you can get tweets from any time. Like this could have been from like a random, this could have been
No,
from
this was
September
from
13th,
today at
1996.
2:40 p.m.
Okay, so that was
I'm gonna
probably
say
after his second TD.
that X bummed me out more than the Trey White injury. That like turned my stomach.
I thought it's a good compliment. The guy
Okay.
tweets out in Germany. He's in Germany. Big Bills fan in Germany.
Yeah.
And said, and it's not even like he didn't tweet at him. So he just put it out into the ether. Just, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like he added Stefan Diggs, which we all agree you should never at the athlete.
Yes.
No, don't do that.
And
Yes.
he said, I'll do it. You know what I mean? Like, that's a compliment. Now, it might not be what you want, but it is a compliment.
I guess that's
You know
true.
what I
But
mean? If someone's like, ooh, Sean, I'd like to fucking.
yeah.
I'd like to suck your feet. You might be like, it's not what I'm into, but I appreciate it.
Okay.
You'd
I think
appreciate the compliment.
You'd rather have someone tweeting at you to suck your feet than not. Like you don't have to do anything about it.
That's
You don't
what
have to
I'm
respond to it.
saying.
But I've
That's
never
what
had
I'm
anyone
saying.
tweet that at me or about me unless it's out there and I didn't see it. And I'm kind of sad.
well, if you want to suck any of our feet, please at
Yeah.
Greg. Do not at me.
Email in the hunt at
cast
Gmail.
at gmail.com.
Yeah, isn't that it? Something like that.
To wrap up, two very quick things on the game before we wrap it up here. I just want to say that this D, when it has Poyer and Von Miller, man, could be real fun.
It was going to be fun.
Yeah, you're right.
Trey White.
Now the season's over.
Now the season's over. Good, yeah, good call.
It is, again, everyone says it every year or every week so far, but like imagining this with Leonard Floyd, Greg Rousseau, and Von Miller is very fun. Reports are he's practicing this week. Who knows? I don't think he plays next week.
I don't think
If I'm willing to bet, I don't think he plays next week.
Don't you get him in a couple plays and then like let him have the bye to like respond? Is the bye right after London or no?
No, I think it's late. But I just don't.
It's either the week after London or the week after that. I know that.
It's not. It's
okay.
Way later.
It is.
It's not.
So it's not. So next week they play in London and then they have a game and then the bye is after that game.
No.
I will fucking kill you. I swear to fucking God. I'm doing this. Yes, it is.
Why?
No, it's
Greg,
like
no one's
like
gonna want to suck your
1st
feet if you keep
like
talking like that, dude.
Yeah.
Let me look at it. Hold on. Everyone shut up.
Well,
they have two buys.
Okay, well, Greg looks up how he's wrong, and I will accept my apologies in terms of a feet suck. Let's talk about this is the one other thing. Greg, are you realizing you're wrong?
No.
Okay.
Oh my God, what? That's a super. They don't even have. Yeah, they don't. It's not until after the Eagles game. It's before the Chiefs game. Wow. Okay, you win.
Okay, thank you. I want to say I'm back to feeling good about this team. Positive Sean's back. I wanted a win like this against a good team, and then it helps to see Bengals are struggling. Eagles go to overtime against the Commanders. No one's looking like world beaters out there so far this year. So I'm feeling better.
I like it. Yeah. I mean, this is the first win of the season again that I was like, okay, this team is legit in a shitty way. This was, the Oakland game. I'll go, yeah, sure, whatever. Washington, I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yep.
Washington. But this game, between the defense and the offense, putting it all together against a Miami team who is good. They are not as bad as they were today. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know if they're as good as the Bills. But they're not as bad as they were today. But the Bills handled them easily.
Yes.
I think they're exactly who they were today, but the Bills just know how to play against them. I don't know. Like there was nothing. They didn't seem off. They weren't dropping passes. They came out, scored a bunch of points, and that was like a real, tight, testy, nervous game. And then they just didn't do. They put up how many points did they score? Is it 28 that they was their final point total? Or
we definitely,
I think that's exactly who Miami were. They gave everything they could today, and then the Bills are just a better team than them. So
we definitely have Miami's number in the same way that the Jets sometimes have our number.
it really does speak about last year and how just shitty shape the Bills were in for the last two times they played them. Really think last year messed a lot of people up, and I just think the Bills, like I think Allen just wasn't right. They were all messed up. It's funny looking at last year watching this game.
Two quick things to talk about before we get into the question game. We didn't talk about this. Obviously, I wasn't here last week, but it was a big Bills fan story. A tailgating Bills fan claims that LSD, cocaine, cannabis, and alcohol caused him to strip off his clothing, smear shit all over himself, and then enter the construction zone of the new Bills Stadium, where he fell into a 30-foot pit before flipping off a police helicopter. And my question is Lou okay, Kyle?
Yeah, he made it out. I calmed him down. Good. I hosed him off. You know what's funny? We had a discussion about that at our tailgate today. And I think the majority of our tailgate blamed the guy's friends, that they were like, hey, if your friend's that fucked up, like you got to keep an eye on him. And my thing was, you're your own man. I didn't tell unless I forced that LSD down you. I'm not. It's not my job to fucking control you. You're not going to ruin my tailgate. You know what I mean?
True, but I think both things could be true. I think maybe he's got bad buddies, and he himself didn't know how to handle his vices.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's bad buddies. They could have done a better job.
Maybe keep it down to combining 2 drugs at a tailgate. Maybe don't go all 3.
Kyle's rule of 2s.
That's it. You just keep it down to 2 and you'll be fine.
And the other thing, this was a big article. Tim Graham wrote an article about the Takeo Spikes incident, which we brought up, a couple episodes ago. He talked about how the Bills started limiting alumni's access after Jim Kelly had been a pregame fixture on the Bills sideline, but in September 2017 was caught screaming at Marcel Darius for kneeling during the national anthem, and the next day ripped running back LaShawn McCoy on the radio. I had never heard that story, and wild to imagine like Marcel Darius is huge, and just imagining Jim Kelly, this old man, yelling at him on the sidelines for kneeling during the anthem is insane on multiple levels.
Yeah, also not I don't think they should put a microphone at Kelly's face anymore, because he also that year or the year before, when asked about Tyrod Taylor, was like, yeah, he ain't the guy. But like they didn't have, it's not like they had already drafted Allen, you know what I mean? He was just this guy who stands on the sideline who is openly shitting on your starting quarterback.
He has been pretty well behaved. Obviously, there were rumors about him being a terror and a bad person throughout the 90s. He's been fairly well behaved of recent times, but I also could see him being our Joe Namath, where he's trying to kiss Susie Colbert and doing all this, embarrassing stuff.
I think that well-behaved, or people just for the most part stop talking to him about stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, I just wanted to bring that up. Kyle, why don't you tell our listeners about our advertisement this year?
Yes, Walgreens.
Yes,
they are.
Oh, how dare you!
They have great pills.
If you like gauze and dry shampoo,
gauze.
They got a big gauze selection at Walgreens.
Revolver, gotta get that gauze.
Revolver Records in Buffalo. They have 4 locations. Hurdle Avenue, somewhere in East Aurora, somewhere in Williamsville.
Come on.
Somewhere? Oh, Elmwood and on Elmwood.
Okay.
Elmwood and Hurdle. I don't know where in Easter. I don't fucking live there, but it's how big is East Aurora? Just go, you'll find it. And same thing
That's
with
true.
Williamsville. It's on Main Street in Williamsville. Go, you'll find it. Anyways, they sell records and stickers. They also buy records. I don't know if they buy stickers, but they buy records. And they have every type of record. They have music, they have comedy, they have spoken word, they have speeches. You could just go listen to speeches. All types. And if you're looking for a record and you're having trouble finding it, you can talk to Revolver Records and they might help you locate one and buy it for you. And then you pay them too. You'd have to buy it from them, but they might help. I actually don't know if that's 100% true, but I think it's true that they
There's
might
no
help
way
you
it's not
look.
true. They'll help you find a record. There's no way that's not true. I don't know what happens after they find the record, but I do know they will help you. They're very helpful.
I think that they'll help you locate.
I'm so
a
nervous
record
this entire thing.
and try to get it for you. So if you're looking for something special, they might help you out. And they also sell all the appliances you need to play records and replace
fridges,
stuff
toasters.
So if you're looking for a gift for Halloween or you want some stuff to hand out, go hand out some records. There's some cheap records you can go buy. Like they have like dollar bins and shit. Just go buy some records, hand out some vinyl to some kids.
That's a smart idea. And go to revolverrecordsinc.com. Use the coupon code in the hunt 10 for 10% off your order. So do that. And another quick reminder, sign up for the Patreon. The Patreon's cooking these days. We got tons of bonus episodes up there. We just did an episode all about Doug Flutie. That was fun.
That was a good episode. That really was.
It's a good episode. And you could subscribe for as little as $1 a month. That helps us keep the lights on. It helps keep Greg from going into angry Greg mode. So do that. The Joe B's still available if you're a lunatic and you want to get a blurb in every episode and be on the podcast. So check out the Patreon and get some bonus episodes there. And are you guys ready for the trivia game?
Been waiting for this moment my whole life.
Okay, good. Jersey on the line. Get yourself a nice Christian Kirksey jersey.
Oh, former Bill.
So we're gonna let's start with Kyle here. A lot of players, like our boy Christian, have retired mid-season on the Bills. Besides Vontae Davis, name me one other person who has retired recently mid-season for the Bills. There's two notable ones. So Kyle, you go first, see if you could pick off one of them, and then we'll go to Greg, see if he could pick off the other.
Shit. What's that guy's name? Davis or something? Oh God.
It's tough.
It was a cornerback. I could picture him.
Well, no, said no Vontae Davis. That's the one I already gave.
Oh, no Vontae. So
no
somebody
Vontae
retired.
Davis.
So somebody
normally he doesn't tell you the answer right after asking the question usually.
Yeah.
So
okay, yeah, I wasn't listening.
Big surprise.
Yeah. So a guy just retired.
Well, within recent, well, I'll get. I don't know if I should give you a hint.
Don't give hints. Let him answer the question. We're not giving him a sippy cup.
Right.
Oh wait, isn't this the guy Kirksey? Didn't he just retire?
Yeah, but not him.
God.
I'm not counting him. I
What
just
the fuck,
said his name.
man?
I just said his name. There's
I
two
might not
other
know
ones.
when the
That's
bye
not my
week is.
fault. You
I
didn't
might not know when the
exclude
bye
him.
week is.
I'm
but-
excluding him now. He's excluded.
Okay.
All right. Shot clock.
John Williams.
John
I don't
Williams, the
fucking know.
composer for
I
Star
don't know
Wars.
who retired.
Greg, do you know?
Yes. Sean Merriman.
Did Sean Merriman retire mid-season?
No.
Before
He just stopped playing. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's retiring, but that was before.
No,
the season started.
you have to retire.
He retired. He retired while a
Okay,
Bill.
hold on. This is why I do questions that are more clear cut. I'm gonna look that up, but while I'm looking that up, we'll go back to Kyle and I'll give you a hint, Kyle. One was this season, one was last season, one was offensive line, and one was receiver.
A receiver. Some linemen. I have no idea. I don't know. Does Greg know? Greg, do you know any of these names?
I'm looking up the Sean Merriman thing.
Merriman does not count.
Mad.
Merriman does not count.
This is bullshit. It's rare for a player in the NFL to enter and instantly become a dominant force on defense, only to fade into obscurity as quickly as arrived. It's exactly what happened with outside linebacker Sean Merriman, who announced his retirement on Tuesday after 8 NFL seasons. The 28-year-old made it official on his website, leaving the Buffalo Bills. What do you want?
And was the date of that?
The date would have been Tuesday. It is March 5th, 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah, March.
Thank you.
That's not during the season.
Thank you. Okay.
The NFL season's 365 days a year.
Oh no, Greg, do you have an answer for this so we could go to the next question? I thought
is it still the first question? I wasn't listening to what was being said.
Wide receiver and an offensive lineman one this year, one last year.
John Williams.
Correct. It is John Williams. You get the point.
I said John Williams.
I know. It's this year was Brandon Shell.
I don't know what that is. Yeah.
And last year, the one I thought maybe one of you would get, Anquan Bolden.
It's a stupid fucking question.
Anquan Bolden played for the Bills?
I had no idea that was a thing.
When did that happen?
Last year?
He retired.
This year?
It was last year.
Anquan Bolden was a Buffalo Bill.
Not his son. His son?
I'm gonna look it up because you're making me feel insane now.
Anquan Bolden's like 50 years old.
On August 7th, 2017, he signed a 1-year contract with the Bills, and then he retired like 2 weeks later.
I swear to God, I thought you said this year and last year someone retired.
One was, oh yeah, you're right. I fucked up that timeline.
Like, what the
he wasn't last year. He was 2017. Okay, that's
2017. So no, if Anquan Bolden counts, Sean Merriman counts.
No, because it was in March. So you know what? All right, I punt on this question.
I hate this podcast.
You all
want to quit it so bad.
Here's what it comes down to: you all should have gotten Brandon Shell. All right.
I guess.
Question number 2. Things will go smoother from here on out. Let's start with Greg.
I like 2 things about that first question. First of all.
What number is larger, Zach Moss rushing yards this season or Dalvin Cook rushing yards this season?
I know more about the Zach Moss one than the Dalvin Cook one. I'm gonna say Zach Moss.
Okay, Kyle.
You notice how I said something
Moss,
with him?
I didn't even think it's close.
You go Moss too?
Yeah.
You're both incorrect.
Oh, that's crazy.
Dalvin Cook 296, Zach Moss 280. Zach Moss only played in 3 games this year. I think he missed the opener. So that weighs it, heavily. But Zach Moss looking good out there in Indy.
He is. He's looking good. I think he had a decent game today. I could be wrong. I don't know. He's on one of my fantasy teams.
Oh,
they had a decent game. I do not know if they actually came back and won that game.
They did not.
They did not. Okay, but they were down early and Richardson brought them back. So
last question, and keep in mind, no one has gotten a point yet. The question 1 I'll put on me.
Stupid.
Question 2 on you guys. 3, our last question, tiebreaker if necessary. We'll start with Kyle. It's a classic. Who does Josh Allen not follow on Instagram? Is it A,
one of these days,
Drew Bledsoe? Is it B, Dan Marino? Is it C, Corona? Or is it D, nobody needs feminism?
There's no chance he doesn't follow Nobody Needs Feminism. They would PR right away. Would be like, absolutely not. They're like, our owner could be racist, but you cannot follow that account.
So you're going with that right off the bat.
Who does he not follow?
Who does he not follow?
Oh, good. Man, I hope it's that one.
All right,
let's go with that one.
Drew Bledsoe.
Greg takes the crown. He does not follow Drew Bledsoe. Follows Marino, Corona, and a yikes. that last one. Well, with that being said, Greg, enjoy your Kirksey jersey. And let's get into previewing the London game. Kyle, why don't you preview this game with a little bit your London accent, mate?
Is that fish and chips? Is that good?
More.
I think that's all I know.
No, do more.
Hello, tea. Are those the people that drink tea? Am I
Yes.
crazy?
I mean, they're not the only people. They drink tea in
Okay.
China too. So.
Hello, tea. All
So
right.
just tea in China and England.
Those are
Okay.
the only two places
Nowhere
though
else.
that they do not drink tea
Got it.
anywhere else. They
Kyle,
will not.
Jaguars are, they're looking frisky. They dropped a game to Houston, but they're looking
Boy.
frisky.
Were we wrong on that bet?
They won today. They
Saying
beat
they'd be
Atlanta.
most improved.
No, because we bet on them for Patreon members. We bet on them to be the most improved team. But I'll say this: Broncos look shitty, Bears look shitty. They could still get that most improved.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
How many games did they win
about that.
last year? Was it 9? Did they finish 9-8?
Yeah.
Okay, so they got to win 7 games to tie it.
Yeah, but whatever. I don't have time to explain to Greg why that still wouldn't help us.
Okay. How do we beat the Jaguars in merry old England?
Here's what you do. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, but Trevor Lawrence, among other, this is from his Wikipedia, among other high-profile athletes and celebrities, was a paid spokesperson for FTX, a cryptocurrency exchange. In November 2022, FTX filed for bankruptcy, wiping out billions of dollars in customer funds. Lawrence, alongside other spokespeople, is currently being sued for promoting unregistered securities through a class action lawsuit. I think you bring the lawyers to the game and you serve them mid-game. You give him the papers mid-game. He can't read the playbook because he's reading over how much he's getting
That's
sued.
smart. Russo comes in and he goes, you've been served.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, what the fuck's this?
He goes,
They sack him and serve him at the same time. The old sack serve where you bring him down and stuff the papers. Are you Trevor Lawrence? You've been served. Because you got to make sure it's him.
Trevor, right? Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah,
There
right.
you go. Sorry about that. Sorry about the whole
just been
sack
served.
thing.
Aw.
And
Sack and serve.
we have an insider who could help us with this, Bitcoin Barkley.
No, he's not on the team. He retired mid-season, right? Or is he on the team? I don't know who's the backup quarterback.
Shane Merriman.
I don't think he's even on the practice squad anymore. But still, I'm sure Josh is still friends with him. He could help out.
He probably pays him to just be around,
He's been around. He could probably just get past security. He could just walk in. What's up? Just going to meeting rooms.
He's been around.
He's been around.
My computer's gonna die any minute.
All right. Well,
so's my will to live.
Well, Jaguars. I think we win this game. I don't like the 9:30 game. I'm sure you guys do because you're early morning. You're probably up there at 6 a.m. digging holes and fighting fires and stuff like that.
Sean's like 9:30. I don't get up till 3 p.m. What am I supposed to? How are we supposed to?
In a perfect world.
I just found out something that's really upsetting to me. For some reason, I was thinking the Bills' bye was the week after London. I have a wedding in Carolina and I'm flying home during that night game against the Giants. I just found out. Like, I'm going to be on a plane basically the entire game.
You got to pay for Wi-Fi, baby. Watch it on your phone.
They have live TV. Do you fly in Delta?
I think it's Eastern Airlines.
I
don't know. My wife made the arrangements.
R.I.P. Greg. That plane is not landing correctly.
It's made up an airline.
No, Eastern Airlines is like the punchline of airlines. They went out of business a long time
I'm flying
ago,
Kyle Air. So I don't know about
the pilot's in a Hawaiian shirt. He's like, "What up?" Get on my plane.
I want to end with some quick plugs. Do we have anything on the Jaguars game? Any predictions?
They're gonna lose. Bills.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence is going to remember that he was the best prospect in the past 12 years. And, Bill's flying overseas. It gets a little weird.
True.
Jacksonville's used to it.
You lost to Jacksonville last year?
Absolutely.
I bet there's an In the Hunt Jags.
Wait,
I bet there's an In the Hunt Jags cast where they go, hey, you know what we got to do? There's a Kyle who goes, hey, you know what we got to do? We got to bring back Urban Meyer. They're scared of him. And then they lose to him another time. That's my Kyle impression.
That's not a bad key to the game, to be honest.
Final score 15-2 because of the metric system conversion.
Smart.
I think the Bills win if EJ Manuel plays. So he needs his revenge London game.
To end, a quick plug. I'll be in Indianapolis this weekend at Helium. Come see me.
Indianapolis, South Dakota.
Yep.
Perfect. See you there.
That's where it is. Also, if you like trivia, and don't hold my first question today against me, but
Sean is very good at trivia.
Thank you. I run
even though today sucked.
Oh no.
I run a trivia Zoom league. So I don't know, message me for more details. It's fun. It's like bar trivia you do with your friends over Zoom. It's fun. Play with your friends. I don't know, message me for more details. It's a good time.
Well, Khalil Mack has 6 sacks and the game isn't over yet for the Chargers against the Raiders today.
Lord.
The record is 7 by Derek Thomas for the Chiefs. So
do you guys have any plugs?
No,
I did my show for the year. It went really well. It's a good show.
I wish everyone a happy October.
It's a good plug.
And good day.
Classic British accent. Oh, you know what? Before we leave, I messaged you guys this. I was hanging out doing comedy at the Comedy Cellar. I was waiting to go up. Some guy comes up to me. He goes, "Hey, are you Sean Murphy from In the Hunt?" I say, "Who put you up to this?" And there was no one. He's just a listener. His name is John Jennings. So shout out.
What's up, John?
To JJ for coming up, saying hi. We talked about the Bills. He's a listener in Rochester. So thanks, John.
Hey, John. Sean will suck your feet.
Just ask nicely. It's platonic, though. It's just platonic. It's not
consensual.
It doesn't mean anything.
I don't know if there's anything I'd rather do less.
It's a cold, unloving toe suck. There is no emotion to it, but if you're still game, just find him at the airport again or wherever.
And you know what? Normally we end, with the Bills won Dan Fisher song. But I'll tell you this. I was editing a Patreon episode last week, and we have a Patreon song that Tom has done for us. And just to mix it up, I've been putting some of Tom's old songs. He usually gives us a song a year for the off season. So I was just mixing it up, putting different songs at the end. And I realized his song from 2020 was a parody of Margaritaville, R.I.P. Jimmy Buffett. So I thought this would be a good time to use the Tom Connect song from 2020 called Coronavirusville. So
wow.
That'll be the song instead of the Bills win song. Or maybe I'll put the Bills win song at the end of that. 2 songs. Bonus.
Why not?
Why not?
They're both good.
That's right. And when a game happens like this, you deserve 2 songs.
Very true. Thanks, Tom and Dan.
Yeah. Great episode. Go to Revolver Records, sign up for the Patreon, be a patron, sign up for the Patreon, and Kyle will now take us out with a little bit more of his English accent. Kyle.
Say hi to Mom.
That's really good. All right, Sweeto.
Wasting away again in Coronavirusville. Looking up more ex-Panthers to sign. Some people say Dick's trade was an overpay, but I know Bills will win Super Bowls. Sitting in my room, reading some bad news. All of these people covered in germs. A note on my phone screen from the desk of Brandon Beam. A handful of picks for the man they call Diggs. Wasting away again in COVID-19-ville. Stocking up my supply of TP. Some presidents claim that it's a Democratic hoax. EV knows all win Super Bowls. The Bills won.